What's up? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of the Minor League Take. I'm your host, Brad Case. And this week on the podcast, we have Matt Seelinger. I know last week we said we're going to have Mark Washington. We'll have him next week. I was able to finally, jump on a call with Matt. We had some struggle scheduling, when we would do it. Finally got him. He has had one hell of a roller coaster of a ride through minor league baseball so far. Excited for you guys to hear it. Excited for you guys to learn about the droppah, being traded, and all the different things that kind of happen with minor league baseball. As always, this is brought to you by More Than Baseball. More Than Baseball is an organization that helps myself and guys like Matt and everyone else on this podcast achieve their dreams and make it to the major leagues. You can go check them out at mtb_org on Instagram and Twitter. I really encourage you guys, follow along with them. Also, go check out Advocates for Minor League Baseball. They're an advocate group for all minor leaguers, and we're never going to have a union exactly, just because of our turnover rate in minor league baseball is so fast. Some guys, get drafted and make it pretty quick, get drafted, take a while to make it through the minors, and get drafted and get cut right away. So because of the nature of it, we're never going to have a true union, but Advocates for Minor League Baseball, they're really doing their best to help look out for me and all my teammates, because we definitely need the help, just with how our situations are. So yeah, go check out both those pages, please. Without any further ado, here's Matt Seelinger, relief pitcher in the minor league system of the San Francisco Giants. What's up, Matt Seelinger? Thanks for joining the show today, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. Ready to just talk some baseball and life.
Yeah. Me and Matt played together back in 2016 on the Montauk Mustangs in their third and final year. A lot has changed since then. A lot has gone on. You've been drafted, traded twice, and we're getting into all of that, in a second. Let's start the show where I start with everybody. What high school baseball kind of looked like for Matt Seelinger?
It was good. It was a fun time. I was lucky to be part of a great program here on Long Island at Clark High School. We had a great team. We won the county championship my senior year. I was able to be a pretty big part of that on the pitching end of it. Played shortstop and, hitting, quote unquote, if you want to call it hitting, definitely more of a position guy than the hitter part of that. But no, it was good. We had a really good team. I had a good high school career. I was more of a late bloomer, more than for sure. I didn't really pitch much until I got to really my senior year, a little bit junior year.
Okay.
About junior or senior year. Stopped pitching from 12 to, 16?
12 to 16, 17, yeah.
Whenever that was. My dad was just like, let's not throw, let's not pitch. These games don't mean anything. Who cares about a game when you're 14 years old?
Wow.
So I would just play shortstop, second, outfield, wherever. I was playing all the time, but it wasn't really pitching. Saved my arm for when it mattered most, later on in high school. And then obviously college and for now. But I think that's what contributed to me being a late bloomer was, just not pitching and
not a ton of experience out there.
Yeah. And, and then just kind of, but high school was a good time for me. I think I had a very good
winning a county championship's pretty sick for New York.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we lost in the Long Island championship game.
Oh.
I remember that. Team actually ended up winning states 3 out of the next 4 years. I think that team won it, or 2 out of the next 3.
Yeah.
I know they went back to back. So looks like we lost to a good opponent. That's never the right, you never want to
end up looking back saying that, but if you're going to lose to someone, you're going to lose to the best, which is not as bad.
No. So high school was good.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, and then you end up at Farmingdale State College, which is not exactly known for its baseball. Did you have offers going into that? Like, what was the recruiting process looking like for you?
Not really. No, like I said, being a late bloomer, kind of flying under the radar. Farmingdale, they're a Division III school, so obviously there's no scholarships for Division III. Let's see, I spoke to a couple programs, D1, it was kind of just like I'd either be a walk-on or, it was basically, listen, you're not going to play your first 3 years. So I did not, or 2 years or whatever. So
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
I got you. Yeah,
I didn't want to do that. And I know I did not deserve to be a Division I college baseball player, especially out of high school. I wasn't big enough, strong enough. I think I was 160 pounds, and I was throwing 84 to 86, maybe getting up to 87, 88.
Which for New York, that's really not that bad. That's pretty good for a high school senior at that point.
Yeah, definitely. But I was not worthy of it. I could say that. Mm-hmm. So then fast forward, so I was like, yeah, you know what? I want to go to the school that I'm going to play. And Farmdale was definitely the number one school that I was going to play. And then, I had offers after my freshman year because my freshman year I cracked the starting rotation. So I was able to pitch 30 plus innings.
Yeah, 30 innings. And you posted a 3.8 as a freshman. I mean, I would be pumped with that.
Yeah. So I was like that. So right there, that made me realize, I made the right decision. I got to pitch actually the conference championship game that we won. So
wow.
I pitched the Long Island championship game in high school that we lost. And then I made up for it in college.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great the next year. So that kind of made it easy. I was like, wow, I made the right decision. Then after that, I had some schools asking if I wanted to leave, especially, in the summer of that year. I played when I don't even think it exists anymore, the NECBL.
The NECBL, that definitely still exists. Yeah.
So then it's NSBL. It's like south. It's like the southern part of New York. So
I was gonna say the New England Collegiate Baseball League's definitely. Yeah.
So it's like the southern part of it. They tried I guess they may have tried branching it off. I don't know. Whatever. It's only just for a year. And Pace was one of the Pace coaches. Was one of my coaches there. And they tried getting me to go there, and and then a couple other schools. But being the NCAA rules, if I wanted to go up a level, I had to. You got to sit out a year.
Yeah,
and I did not want to do that. I did not want to sit out for school wise because I didn't want to go to school for 5 years. And B, at that time, I always hoped to get drafted or play some sort of professional baseball.
Yeah, was that something you thought about a lot, or?
But I didn't want to be at school an extra year. I didn't want to do it. And I thought being a fifth-year senior, if, sitting out that year would hurt my draft stock if, it didn't work out junior year. So senior, so I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I thought I had a good thing running. And, I loved my time at Farmdale. I loved everyone there. So it was definitely the right decision. It was never a true thought to ever leave there, but, there was always those offers. I think I made the right decision. About it,
contemplate. Yeah, I would definitely say things definitely seemed to work out.
Things worked out. They definitely did. Farmville, but it's a very good Division III program. It's a very good.
I mean, you guys won conference your first year.
Yeah, the Skyline Conference is a great conference. What it is? It's a lot. It's gotten better too because a lot of kids go away to these Division I schools. Like I remember my freshman year when we won it, we went to the conference, not the conference, the regionals. And they had a kid from Cortland who went to South Carolina. He was like the backup, third baseman for those years that they won it, the College World Series. Yeah, but what I mean by that is, so you get guys that go there, go to these high schools that either just don't make it on the school side of things, or they just don't play. So they want to move, so they drop down to Division III, and now you got Division I cusp guys playing Division III ball, so it raises its stock, and each year it definitely got better and better. We added an extra couple schools into my conference, and it was great. I mean, I had a great time there.
Being at a D2 myself, I saw a lot of that too, where guys would be at a big D1 school, whether it was like LSU or something, and they would come to our conference. And I was like, what are we doing? Like, why is this guy playing against me right now? Yeah. It was pretty bizarre once in a while seeing that.
Yeah. I mean, but it just raises, everyone's game, and I think everyone thinks Division III, like you're like, oh, D3, but it's still college baseball.
Oh, absolutely. I
Um,
mean, and a big part of this podcast is bringing guys on to show it doesn't necessarily matter where you go because I mean you can get picked out of anywhere there, whether it's all the way from the D1s to the JUCOs to the D2s and D3s in between. It doesn't really matter at
yeah,
all.
100%. I mean, I truly think if you're good enough, they'll find you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always guys that just slip through the cracks, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of just how the game works. That's the sad part of it. But for the most part, if you're good enough, they'll find you for some sort of opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah, they'll get you there.
And listen, like I knew myself that I was not ready for that Division I commitment, and neither did D2. Honestly, like I knew Division III Farmdale was the right fit from day one, and my decision proved to be right after my freshman year, and then it stayed through the rest of the way. I really, really cannot say much more great things about Farmdale. I had a great time there, and
I remember,
they really helped me set up baseball and life otherwise too.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I played with you, like you talked so highly of it, and you loved it there. So, I always could tell it was a really good place. When would you say like you start to see some of the changes though? Because by the time I played with you, you were touching low 90s, right? By the summer I played with you.
Yeah, I think that was what summer 16. So yeah, I was about
16,
in that 88 to 90, 91 range.
Yes, just starting to scrape that.
Yeah. So what happened was after my freshman year. After my sophomore year, I went to Driveline. I found Driveline.
Oh, did you go up to Seattle?
Yeah, I flew up to Seattle way before everyone else even knew about it. In June of 2015.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. So, yes, I remember this because I actually had to have a hernia surgery. I had a hernia I played my whole sophomore year with a hernia surgery. That happened like late January, and I wasn't going to get a red shirt. I didn't want a red shirt, and the doc's like, you don't really need the surgery, but it's needed at the end.
Yeah.
So regardless, I go out to Driveline for 2 weeks. I found Driveline on like Twitter and like that in like fall of 2014. Like I went to one of their first facilities in Puyallup, Washington, like way out there. I'm talking like they had the fish nets as their cages, all of that. So
some real grinder type shit.
Yeah. So I go to them and I see that bump in velocity to about, from 86 to maybe 88, 89. But that was also back then when I still wasn't strong either. They did all the foundation work was laid then, which, was good at that point. Then fast forward to after junior year, we played for me. That was after my junior year. If you remember, I left earlier in that summer. I left like midway through because I was like 88, 90. And I was like, I need to get better. And I need to get stronger. So I left to train because
we could have used you, man. We made it to the playoffs.
I know. I was watching. I know. But
hey, I abandoned them too in the championship game. I messed up too there, but
I mean, no, I left because that year, my junior year, I won the conference pitcher of the year. So I thought I had a decent shot of getting drafted. And again, I knew, and they said it, but I knew it. Scouts said, like, look good. But, as a D3 guy, you're going to have the odds stacked up against, which honestly, rightfully so. You're at a Division III. So, if you're at a Division I, they might give you that little bump, that little pass, whatever, and say, we'll take a fly on this guy. But being only 88, 90, I needed to dominate. Even though I dominated well with those numbers, it needed to transfer to Pro Bowl. And I don't think it did at that point, being 88, 90. So I left like, I need to gain velocity. I need to get better.
Yeah, you just needed that little bit more of a bump.
Yeah, I needed that. I needed to show that I wasn't just a Division III kid that had a good year or had a good 3 years, whatever. Yeah. I needed to show that if I want to play Pro Ball, I got to show that I can pitch professionally with higher velocity, more pitches, whatever. So I left that summer of 2016, and I went to train for the last think I was there for 6 weeks with them in Montauk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
6 weeks I was there about, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, you were there for a little over half the season.
Yeah, so whatever. So I left that last 6 weeks of the summer, whatever, trained, then went into fall ball, and then senior year came, and velocity bumped up a little bit. I got stronger just by throwing more of those weighted balls and using tread athletics for my senior year, going into my senior year. I used tread winter of 16 into 17.
Yeah.
So I found them pretty early also.
I have only recently heard of them, like in the past, like maybe 2 years is when I discovered them.
Now. Yeah, they're awesome. I actually, just a side note, I use them right now currently for my thermal program. But yeah, so I used them for my lifting program back then and saw the bump. And then, scouts came knocking at the door. I had to go through a Pirates workout, and things went well there. I actually faced 5 hitters, struck out all 5.
There we go. Where'd you go for the workout? Is it up in New York somewhere?
Central Connecticut.
Central Connecticut. Okay, yeah. I got you.
So I was at the school there, and that was the tough part too about being a D3 guy, is that my season ended May 1st. Because remember, we only play 40 games, including the conference tournament. So we don't play that much. So my season ended May 1st, but the draft wasn't until June
3rd or something.
14th. Yeah. No, I was later. Okay. Yours was earlier. Mine was June 14th.
I got you. Yeah.
So my workout wasn't until June 10th. So me being a senior, I had no
way to keep training, keep playing. Yeah.
No games left. I had to train on my own, which at that time I didn't know what I was doing, really, looking back on it. I mean, you think you know what you're doing in the moment, but
you never know.
So, but then also I didn't know what to do. Am I going to get drafted? Should I start applying for jobs in the real world? Am I going to play independent ball? I really didn't know. I knew I wanted to play baseball, but I didn't know if it was going to go the independent route, the affiliated ball route, or if I wanted to just, you weren't sure what the next step was really going to be. I didn't know. Yeah. It wasn't like I was a lock to get drafted at all. I really wasn't.
Yeah.
So for those 4 weeks, I think it was over Memorial Day weekend. It was like that Monday after Memorial Day was the tryout.
Does that work out? Yeah. That
month without anything. And a couple of teams were interested, but
nothing concrete.
Invite to work out. So,
Yeah.
And nowadays they have those packs where you fill out one form online and all.
Yes, I know. I was the last year that they didn't have that. So all my friends that got drafted in 19 all had that, and they just hit send. And all the 30 teams got it, which is easy.
That would have been great.
That would have been real nice.
But, looking back on it, like, how did they not have that, then? That's such an easy concept. But, so they didn't have that. So, I think I had a couple teams other than the Pirates. I think I had, like, the Yankees were somewhat interested, the Mets, Blue Jays, the Rangers a little bit, but nothing crazy. And then I actually did another workout with the Astros, but it was like the day before the draft. And they were like, looks pretty good. We're going to –
We'll let you know.
We'll let you know.
Yeah.
It's so close to the draft that we can't even send out any scouts, like, cross-checkers or North like scout really to get to you. So we'll see. So –
yeah. Before we go any further, though, I kind of want to take a step back and ask about 2 different things. First, you got to tell us all about the world famous droppah, the knuckle droppah. Because everyone with the Pirates organization that knows you, if they're in the draft class above me, I say, oh yeah, I played with Seelinger back in the day. They would always bring up the droppah. Pretty good.
Ball right here, actually.
You got a ball right there. Oh, you're gonna show off the grip and everything?
I'll show. Why not?
Oh, you're gonna give the secrets. All right.
All right. So first, it starts with how my dad didn't want me to throw for when I was 12 to 15. I didn't throw.
Yeah.
His big reason too is not just because those games didn't matter, but also he wanted to save my arm, and he didn't want me throwing curveballs, especially to start. He goes, "All right, let's just go."
That's a big New York myth that curveballs are gonna destroy your arm.
Yeah,
which they kind of are, but if you throw them the right way, you should be fine.
Yeah. But also, what was this in 8-10 years ago, we didn't know what we know now.
No
so
idea.
like you said, that was a myth back then. But regardless, so he didn't want me snapping off curveballs, especially when I first started throwing again as well. So he's like, all right, let's go to the knuckle drop save it, to save my arm. And then after maybe a year or two, we'll switch to the curveball. And it just kept getting better and better and better. And I was like, why get rid of it?
Why would you even want to, think about swapping that out?
And then the thing is, too, is I never had a pitching coach, really. And I'm actually glad I never did. I think that kind of helped me. I was kind of like my own pitching coach. I'm talking about like after my dad, but regardless. So you take the baseball, you take your four-seam grip. So I used to hold my four-seam like a lefty. So I used to have the horseshoe on the inside. And that's why I would get a lot of cut on it. But regardless, so you take it, right? So now the horseshoe's got to be on the inside where your pointer finger is as a righty, or either way. Take your two fingers and you go on the top lace where you grip the bottom of it. Yeah. With your two, not even your door knocking knuckles, but like right above your nail. Right? Yeah. And you I just grip it as tight as I possibly can. Try to get it as centered as possible. And I just throw it as hard as I possibly can every time. And it comes
show the spin right now. It comes straight over the top, right?
It comes off like a flick.
Yeah.
So it comes off like a flick, right? So I don't really think that, because if I think that, then sometimes I either get like that pop up or that cut or straight down, like down me and doesn't even reach the plate. So I literally just try to throw as hard as I can and let this naturally just come up, and then it drops down. Now, it doesn't come up as a curveball. It's like a mixture. It's a hybrid of it's got curveball. It's got like four-seam spin. Yeah. Breaks like a curveball, like drops. Yeah. But it has the spin rate of a splitter, and it sometimes cuts and like that. Listen, I know it's just kind of true to who I am.
It's like a mythical pitch.
Yeah, it's literally my personality and a pitch. Who throws a baseball with two fingers bundled up? Like you got like the knuckle curve, like that's normal. The spiked curve. But who has two fingers spiked up? But hey, man,
it's just straightforward too.
It works. It's just the fastball. It just comes up and just right there.
Dude, I remember first playing with you and like hearing about this pitch, and I was like, what? Dude, and it's nasty because it comes in and it's got just the same spin as the fastball. So the fastball's either staying up and jumping on you, or it's just diving straight into the ground.
Yeah,
you can't make up your mind on it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's just a quick side note to the draft process. I was afraid to tell people what it was, because when you hear knuckle drop, you almost think knuckle ball. Yeah. Because you could hear knuckle curve. People know that that's just a spike curve.
They know, normal curveball.
But knuckle drop, what the hell is that? So
did you tell the Pirates beforehand?
Well, I think they knew, and I just said curveball or whatever, because also the problem with it too is it doesn't spin enough to be a curveball. Okay. So a curveball needs to be in that 20,000-30,000 spin rate.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I get that 12.6, but mine spins at 1,200, 1,300. Mm-hmm. And then it can kind of come spin direction this way, that way. But regardless, so I was afraid to tell people it was a knuckle drop, because, you hear that, they kind of get gun shy a little bit because they're not going to draft a knuckleballer.
They don't, they don't know what they're signing up for.
Yeah, no. But so that thing has created some popularity in both college baseball and professional baseball.
Have you met anyone else that throws it too?
There's a couple guys like on Long Island that throw it. Yeah. It's kind of a big thing on Long Island because, like we said, the myth to the curveball thing. But a lot of guys throw it more with the two-seam one that's here on Long Island.
I remember me and you used to play catch with that to see if you could get run on it.
I could get it. Remember that? Yeah. And it's just not – I just can't do that. That's just not me. I don't throw a two-seam anyway because I'm way too over the top. I just don't get any of that. But no, other than that, other than anyone on Long Island, I've never met anyone that's thrown it themselves or met anyone that's met anyone that's thrown it besides me. So
it's certainly a unique pitch, man. I love it.
Out.
Yeah. And then the other thing I want to ask you before we moved farther into the draft was, dude, talk about like that senior year you had at Farmingdale. Because I mean, like you had the first 3 years, like a 3.8, a 4.6, and a 3.2, all great, all solid numbers to have. And then your senior year, you just go out there and you throw a 1.39 ERA. You absolutely fucking dominate the league. Like what was going on? Were you just playing with your hair on fire or thinking about the draft the whole time?
Yeah. I mean, everyone's going to lie to you and say, were you thinking about that? Of course you are. Of course you are.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Of course I was. You're not human if you're not, and plus it's what I really wanted to do, so of course I was thinking of it, but I try not thinking too much about it, obviously you try not to, but you're always gonna think about it. But I don't know, I think just leaving, the summer ball, like we said, and that giving me that extra couple months to train, that really helped. And I kind of just, I knew that winning. I actually didn't win conference pitch of the year my senior, even though it was way better than my junior.
How'd you not win? Did someone throw a 1 ERA?
I don't know. I know I think a couple
got a little political
All-American stuff in senior year, but junior year I didn't. But regardless, I knew that winning that my junior year, kind of put me on the map. So I was like, all right, my senior year, I have to quote unquote ball out. I have to do well. Like I gotta, if I want this, I gotta get it up more, and just kind of, just being on top of, working out extra harder now, because like I said, I graduated high school at 165. By my senior year, I was 205, 210. So I was starting to get, so that helped. And just working
stronger,
on, and then just trying to throw more strikes, and just attacking guys. I think it clicked a little bit later, but it's like, as pitchers, we kind of tend to overthink things. I still do to this day, but hitting so damn hard that I remember just saying, you know what? Screw it. I'm coming at you. Let me see you beat me, and like winning it my junior year, not even my senior, my junior year, gave me confidence for my junior year on top of being pissed off that, I knew I wasn't get drafted, but you always hold out that hope, either junior or senior, to get drafted. So that didn't happen. So I remember going to my senior year, I was like, I'm gonna just put all my eggs in this basket and
ride. Yeah, I mean things totally worked out because Pirates come calling. What round was it again?
28th.
28th round. 28th. They come knocking. You picked. You got the jersey hanging up right back there behind you. Morgantown, West Virginia Black Bears.
Yup.
How'd you like that first season, man? I mean, you pitched great there too.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was a whirlwind of an experience and change because going from D3 to
pro ball.
Pro ball.
Yeah.
I mean, like I had to do my own, in college, we had to wash our own jerseys.
Yeah, we did too in D2. Yeah.
So when I got to pro ball, my first day, I'll never forget this. It was in Williamsport. I joined the team on the road.
Yeah.
They give me the loop before the game. I didn't know what it was, so I just put it in my bag before the game. I was like, "What is this?" So I put it in my bag, and then after the game, see everyone's putting all their jersey on, their clothes on it to be washed. I go, "Oh, all right, well, here we go.
This is cool." You're like, "This is nice." Yeah.
But no, the Pirates were awesome, and especially in that draft process. I don't know about you, but for us, my draft class is 17. I got drafted the third day of the draft, and I actually got 6 days at home after. So it was nice to kind of I was able to have a draft party after, kind of have it
enjoy yourself,
enjoy it. Then they flew me out to Pittsburgh. And they flew me to PNC, and I signed. Did you sign at PNC?
Yeah, I signed at PNC. They stopped doing it the year after me.
Okay, so I knew
which is a shame.
Yeah. So I got lucky. So that was an awesome experience. I got to do that. And then they flew me to, where did I fly into? No, I drove from Pittsburgh to Williamsport to meet the team. And they were on a getaway day. So then we drove 8 hours to Batavia and then drove back. And I got back. Then we played the game there. But if you remember, I don't know about for you, when you get drafted, the first like 3 days you're there, you're still technically not on the roster. So
you just sit there and you're like hanging out.
Sitting there in Batavia, New York, and not even close to home. You know, you hear New York, like, yeah. Then I look
Batavia
on the map,
is a whole nother
8
country.
hours away from
it's
home.
so far.
So I'll take that 6 hour bus ride from Williamsport to Batavia.
Yeah.
Then the 8 hours from Batavia to West Virginia. Get back at 4:30 in the morning. This was my first 4 days of pro ball after playing Division III ball and staying home for school. I'm like, what am I getting myself into? I had all my bags on me too. And at that point, I didn't know what to prepare for pro ball. I overpacked all my clothes as well.
Yeah.
I took I had 4 suitcases. I'm lugging it around. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But then I got back, and West Virginia was such a fun time. I had a blast there.
Dude, that place was so cool. And I was like, once I got drafted, like you reached out to me and we talked a little bit and you were like, dude, you're going to love Morgantown. I was so excited. And then I got sent to the GCL and I was pissed. I ended up making it to Morgantown at the very end of the summer.
So you got
once I got there, I was like, dude, this is fantastic. Like, this is like, I was so pissed. I had to, I missed out on that while, during that season, but I was happy to experience it a little bit, dude. I'm sure it was an absolute blast the whole summer there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was great because it's a college town.
Yeah.
But it's also like being a college town during the summer, they don't have pro sports there. So we are there pro sports, right?
Yeah.
So it's packed almost every night. The marketing that they do at that field is so much fun. I even have fun when I'm there, like sitting in the bullpen and like, you're following what the fans are doing, like the fan games on the field off because it's fun. Yeah. My parents came all the time. It was great. It was in a college stadium. That's West Virginia University Stadium. The locker room was crazy.
Oh, super
And then
nice.
Around the area was really nice too. Being from New York, you hear West Virginia, like, oh, I'm going to the South and all that. But like, it was actually really fun. Like, it was really nice. And then in the end of the summer, I'm sure you caught it too, is when all the college kids start coming back. So then the game starts becoming more fun and all that. And dude, I had an absolute blast there. My Esposito was my coach there. He was great.
Oh, Espo was there?
Yeah, Espo was there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's been
his last year before he moved up to AAA.
I was going to say, he's been AAA the whole time I've been with the
that was his last year there.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but like the greatest things about him.
Yeah, because he was the catching coordinator as well as the manager for me. So he was like high up, even while being the
the coach for the short A team.
Season. Yeah. And then so Files I had too. Like, it was great. I honestly really could not have asked for a better introduction to pro ball, especially being a D3 guy. I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome.
That's fantastic. But yeah, dude, you crushed your first year. How did you feel going into that first spring training with the Pirates? Were you a little nervous? Because I know for me personally, I was like terrified. Like, I felt so out of place. I was freaking out. Even being in the GCL and that was my home, like I still felt like I was, in a new place.
Yeah. Well, dude, that was an experience in itself.
Yeah.
Strapped in for this. So first off, being actually, going back, not playing the D3 card anymore, but last time is that I had no idea how to prepare for February, end of February-ish, whatever, March, call it March 1st, ever, to September, October. Like, that's 140 games of just regular season on top of, whatever, spring training in a month. And then if you have instructs, whatever. So I had no idea how to prepare. So I took a lot more time off throwing.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, I got to be prepared for,
7 months,
July,
8 months, whatever.
June, July, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, especially not even playing in games every day, but just throwing every day. In college, you have to have a mandatory day off each week, then you have to have, whatever.
All the stipulations, yeah.
So all that. So I'm worried about that. I actually did go to was that Instruct? So I got to actually see Pirate City, which was great. So I that was another thing I was worried about too. It was like I went.
Heard of that place, yeah.
So then I get there and I'm like, all right, it's go time. Like they kind of heard about me, like other people, because I had a good year in Morgantown. Other people that weren't my coaches there heard about me, and like they're kind of expecting big things. And I'll never forget, that was the worst spring training I've ever had. It could not have gone any worse. You know how it starts off? Day one, bullpen, day one. You know how they have all the bags in the behind the mound, like with all the balls in it?
Yeah.
I grabbed one, and I actually grabbed one out of the big league bag.
Oh, no.
I never thrown the big league ball. First one, 50 feet in the air. Just boom, right over the catcher. Hit one of the green fence behind it.
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So whatever. Then the droppah, as they call it, was horrific. Horrible.
Oh, no.
Ball swing train. Not only could I not get it for even the 2 strikes swing and miss one, couldn't even get it for a strike. And even Hanrahan, he goes, I was ready to drop it into the garbage can. I was like, dude, I know, it's so bad. But that was actually the first time I hit 95 that spring.
Holy shit.
So I was pumped for that.
There was some pluses.
I think I had a little extra juice that day because I had the Yankees, and growing up a Yankee fan, I was like, let's go. We're going to the Yankee spring training, whatever. But I was horrible that day, other than hitting the 95 a couple times. So I actually got left in extended that year. My first spring training.
You were there shortly though, right?
I was there for about 10 days, call it about.
Oh, all right. That's not bad at all.
No, it was like 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. I actually got called up on my birthday. So
that's April a nice 19th. Present.
Yeah. So April 19th range. So, what was that, 2 weeks? So it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was obviously frustrating as heck at the time. You never want to be left behind and extended. But
yeah, that was my big fear going into my first spring training. I was like, dude, there's no way I can get stuck here. Like, I got to do everything and more just to make sure I don't end up here, because I only spent a week in Morgantown, so I figured I was just gonna go right back there.
Yeah. Oh, so, you figure, and that's extended. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I mean, you only spend a short time in extended, though, thank God, and you get out of there and you get down to good old Charleston, West Virginia, man. It's a little different than Morgantown, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, same state, but it's the same comparison. Long Island to Batavia, you got Morgantown to Charleston, man.
Dude, we played a series there in 19, and I was like just amazed at that place. It is something. It is something to see. I don't even want to tell the stories from that place, but I mean, you got the Toast Man, who's a great time.
Yeah. You went as an opposing player.
Yeah, we went as opposing player.
Yeah.
It was bizarre. He started heckling one of our pitchers, saying because I was pitching well at the time. He just starts chanting, "Brad Case is better." And I'm sitting like 4 rows up, and I'm like, dude, you shut up right now. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's ruthless.
Yeah, he would do it. And then I pitched the next day, and he starts going through my college outings. I'm like, dude, this is fucking miserable. Like, I don't know.
You got to give the guy some credit, though. He does his homework.
He does his homework. God, the Toast.
Yeah, that's a nice place. It's cool because the stadium's actually in the middle of the city, which is cool. It's almost like how in the big leagues, like how most stadiums are in the actual city. Mm-hmm. Like, so that was cool. I had a fun time there. It was a good town.
Yeah, you make of it what it is. But then, the season goes along, and then all of a sudden one day you get a phone call that's very different from most phone calls for guys in low A to get. How'd you get it? What happened? What were your thoughts?
That was crazy. We actually had an off day that day.
Oh, so you're just waking up at like 2:00.
No. Me and my roommate, we were all just, sharp. We were all just hanging out, like whatever. But what happened was the day before. It was the off day was a Monday, so it was a Sunday day game, and pitching, and I get rocked, absolutely rocked. I'm talking like 4 innings. I'm sure you can find it. I think like 3 runs in 1 inning, 4 runs in 1 inning.
Okay,
get rocked, especially as a reliever. That's tough, so rocked. And I'm like, damn, like I pissed, like shit, like
no, it sucks happen? When you go out there and you pitch bad, and you're like, dude, what's gonna happen to me now?
Yeah,
it's definitely runs through your head.
You never know, but I mean that's always been now you're thinking a little too crazy, but regardless, so whatever. So I get a phone call the next day, and it says Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm like, I don't have the number. I'm like, Normally you don't answer phone calls that it's like a random number, but like, Pirates, like, Pittsburgh. I put the 2 and 2 together.
You're like, maybe I should take this.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll take this. So I answer it, and it's coordinator, and he's like, "Hey, Matt, calling news I never thought I'd tell you about, and this is coming off a day of pitching terrible." And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Your heart rate's just pounding. You're freaking out.
Like, oh, dude, this is it. I was like, "Damn!" Like I thought I pitched well enough to like, but like you never know. Damn. And he goes, "We're actually trading you to Tampa Bay." And I blacked out for a second. Like, I was like, what? Like, I had no idea. The phone went blank for like a solid, 8 seconds. I kid you not. Like, it was just silence.
Wow.
I blacked out. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, we're trading you to Tampa Bay. And then, then he was like, yeah, it's a pleasure having you. Like, this, all that. So I was like, wow, jeez. I was like,
that's surreal.
What? I didn't know what to do. So I asked, because I knew that at the time, Archer just got traded from the Braves to the Pirates. And it was Meadows, Glasnow, and a player named later. So I said, oh, am I that player to be named later? And he goes, no, but I can't tell you who you're done
traded for,
because it has to be like official through Major League Baseball and all that. So I actually then told my friends, I'm like, hey guys, like I just got traded. Like I called my dad first, and I'm like, Dad, and he, like, the way I called him, he thought the same thing. He goes, oh, you got released like right away. Yeah. And I'm like, Dad, I just got traded. And he's like, what? No way. Like, my dad took it in the correct way. And then, like, my mom, just being a mom, she was kind of like confused. She was like, she was like, what do you mean they just gave you away? When you get traded, more times than not, it's not so much. It's not that the team didn't want your current team didn't want you. It's that your
other team wanted more.
Yeah. So, like, her being a protective mom was kind of like, what's going on? Whatever. So, but all my friends, this was at like 11:40 in the morning. So all my friends like, no way, dude, we don't believe you. You're lying. Like, no way. And then, because they would Google it and nothing popped up yet at the time.
Yeah.
And so then the Rays called me and they go, no, you're traded for Danny Hechavarria and cash straight up. So then I tell my friends that, and they're still not believing. Nobody's believing me. And then about 2:30, the ESPN update happened. The Score app update, the MLB update.
All of it starts coming through. Yeah.
MLB Network, it all popped up. And everyone saw it, and then everyone went nuts. And all my friends finally believed me. I'm like, God, I'm not lying.
Like I told you.
Like, I got the phone call, But so then going back, so I thought I was that trade. It ended up being Boz, as we know now. And it was Boz the whole time it was supposed to be. But for whatever reason, it was a player named later. I don't know why. But regardless, it was him. So for me, I was my own separate deal that deadline day.
Gotcha. Yeah, dude, I remember being at Pirate City. It was a Sunday, like you said, and I was in the cafeteria, and then all of a sudden, I see it, and I'm with Will Reed and someone I can't remember who was the left Mason. I was with Mason too.
Yeah, well, yeah, Mason.
Yeah. I was with both of them, and I just go, bro, Matt Seelinger just got traded, and they were like, oh wow, he was in the Glass now deal. I was like, no, this is a different deal.
Yeah.
They're like, what? And I was like, yeah, he just got traded straight up for a big leaguer.
Yeah.
And they're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's a pretty sick detail to think about.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it didn't hit me at first. And then, and we know it. Like, you, as a lower end draft guy, as myself, as a whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you're not the top end prospect. You know that.
You're not. We know that we're not the biggest priority.
So being traded for a big leaguer straight up, I was like, all right, like, this is it. Like, I never thought like, all right, now I'm a prospect. Never thought that. But I was like, all right, now, like, it was finally nice to be like, damn, I went from this first viewed as this D3 guy that like a lot of people were like
writing off.
What is he doing here? What's he doing in pro ball? To then made a mark for myself, made a name for myself. To then this was like, all right, finally like starting to see a little bit of like, like appreciativeness, I guess would be the word to say. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Like some of the recognition that you felt like you deserved. Because you've been working your butt off, turning yourself from this kid, who's, a freshman and throwing 85 at a D3 to, getting drafted and all these other things.
Yeah.
And now you're getting traded straight up for a big leaguer, which is still like, God, that's got to be insane.
Yeah. It's really cool to think about it,
Yeah.
Especially, over this COVID and all this crap that not having a year and a half to play or whatever, kind of give you a light insight to what it was like without baseball. So that kind of made me look back. When you're playing, you're not like, wow, look at these cool things I'm doing. Like even right now, I'm not really thinking of that. Hopefully we think about that in 20 years. Not now. We're still playing for 20 years. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So no, that was a really cool, really really cool experience.
Yeah, man. I mean, and then you get to Bowling Green, and then you shove there, and you guys won the championship there too, right?
Yeah, I actually became the closer there, and I closed out. I actually got to throw the last pitch. I got to pitch the last inning. In the lower levels, there's never such thing as roles.
There's a couple of guys that are like the closers.
But when you get to playoffs, they kind of diminish that. Not that they diminish that development side, but it's like
it's about winning.
But it's still like you're not going to pitch back-to-back days. But like I would pitch game 1, game 3, game 1, game 3. Like it was literally every other day I was pitching basically because at those levels, most organizations don't allow you to pitch back-to-back days no matter what until you get to double A, triple A. That's when you start to whatever. So yes, I got to close that out, which was unreal, dude. I remember that first day, my first game, that warm-ups, that last game, I was just looking. I looked at the scoreboard on my last throw before coming down. I watched it. It was like 93 or 92 in my last warm-up before even throwing a pitch in the game. I'm like, oh man, I'm feeling
good.
Now.
You're ready to go. Yeah,
I'm feeling good. Gonna be getting up there, and dude, it was great. It was unreal. Unfortunately, it wasn't for me. It wasn't a safe situation, but I still got to.
To close it out.
They still gave me the opportunity to close it out and do that dog pile and everything. Pop the champagne in the clubhouse. We got that 3 times because we won each series you get to do and all that. That was an experience I will never forget.
Dude, that's so awesome. I mean, it sounds like you've had just so much success in being part of winning cultures, winning teams. Is there a common theme in all of those, or is it just each one's got their own special spark?
Yeah, I think they all have their own special spark. I think it's, each organization has their own strengths, and then the good organizations recognize that. And luckily, I've been in 3 great organizations that know their strengths and then play to those strengths.
Yeah.
So it's we all know the Rays are super analytical. Right. So
when you went over to them, I was like, that makes so much sense to have that crazy droppah with the tech geniuses over there. Yeah, and exactly. So they're super analytical. So they played into that role, and it's all stuff like that. So and it's just a matter of talent is always key. But just even having everyone buy in, and once
once we got to that first round of the playoffs, because I joined them in the second half, and they already clinched in the first half, so they knew they were going to the playoffs.
They knew they were going, yeah.
So once September came, that switch was flipped an extra voltage.
An extra notch, yeah.
It just we went off.
Dude,
I think
awesome.
we won 98 games that year in total.
Holy
we were Baseball America's Team of the Year. Yeah, we won.
Oh my God.
So you have to win what? 2, 3. So that's, you got to win 7. So we went 7-1 in the playoffs. Well, that's one game in the playoffs.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That sounds like a blast. And I'm just itching, dude. I think the last time I played a playoff game was with Montauk.
Yeah. I've been lucky to be in a playoff teams.
Yeah, because in college we never made it. And then pro ball, I haven't been a part of a team that made it to the playoffs. So yeah, I'm jealous. I'm very, very jealous to say the least.
It's different. It is. It really is different. It really is, because it's like, game 1, it's like, we got to win this. It's only 3 games.
You just empty the tank. It's just you have to win. There's no other choice.
It's literally like, you don't know what all hands on deck means until you get into that situation. Like, you throw out all the roles, quote unquote, that are there during the regular season, and it's all just like, hey man,
whoever's gonna win.
Usually you pitch in the 8th inning, but guess what? You might be pitching in the 4th, so you better stay ready. And it's like, but then the regular season, if you usually don't pitch to the later innings, you do your slow routine. Maybe the 5th inning you start moving around. In playoffs, nope, you're
ready to go
any moment, dude. It's awesome though.
Yeah. But then, dude, you move into your next season with, you're with the Rays now. You're at a new spring training site. And then, I mean, you're only there for a short time, too, until you get a whole sense of deja vu and it all happens again, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this time, I actually got hurt opening night. I had a grade 2 hamstring strain opening night.
Oh, that sucks.
Popped my hamstring opening night. And I tried pitching through it, because at first I thought it was like a little like tweak, everyone thinks that, whatever. So pitched like 4 more pitches, and then I actually ended up like walking the bases loaded. Like I'm talking like out of 12 balls, like literally, I think I threw 1 strike out of 13 pitches, all balls. So then pitcher coach comes out. He's like, hey man, I think you're just not staying back or whatever. You're not getting over your front side. I'm like, dude, I can't even land on my left leg right now. My hamstrings kill me. But, you don't say that. I'm never going to say I'm hurt. So I've tried to pitch through it, walk them on 4 pitches, get yanked, have that classic. I think I had an infinity ERA after that outing. I might have got an out. Maybe. I don't even remember. So,
because I was going to say those numbers, the numbers for your time in high A with the Rays, I was like, this is not very characteristic of you.
No, I got hurt, and so then the next day I was like, I'm actually really hurt. Like I remember I couldn't sleep that night. Like my hamstring was whatever.
Just
so
up,
go on the DL I was only on the DL for 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, because you're always going to say you're better than what you are.
100%. You have to.
You can't. I don't want to lose the spot. So I come back and I wasn't ready. But and then obviously you see those numbers were just not it, and I just wasn't pitching consistently. I wasn't, I never got back in a groove. But then this time I actually had an agent. So the first time I didn't have an agent when I got traded.
Yeah.
So that's why they called me directly, and they were like, hey, whatever. This time I had an agent, and so in the Florida State League, you're only playing in Florida, so your road trips are short. So
it's all relatively close together. Yeah.
So, we're about to go on the bus. And before I get there, my agent texts us, hey man, listen, there's a trade to be done. Like, just give me a heads up. Like, just act like you don't know, because you're not supposed to know yet. So I'm like, all right. So get to the field, and my manager pulls me in, and I knew. Like, I put myself on, he calls me off the bus. He's like, hey man, listen, there's a trade about to be going down. It's nothing official yet. He goes, I think it's going to happen. It's like 90% chance. So we're going to keep you back here. And if it doesn't go down today, you'll just throw on the other side at extended to keep your arm loose, keep your arm going. until either the trade goes down or falls through and you stay with us.
Yeah.
So now I hear that and I'm like, mentally, I'm like, what the heck is going on? I was traded in August or July 31st, August, whatever.
Yeah, somewhere around there, yeah.
Of 18, and then traded again May of 19. Dude, I literally was, if you take out the offseason months, I was with the Rays for 3 months. And I was like, dude, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And I was hurt for 3 of those weeks of the 3 months that I was there playing baseball. So, and side note, I didn't have a very good spring training there either. So I guess I wasn't a good spring training guy. But then this past spring training in 2020, I was having a good one. And then it gets
well,
so,
just do us a favor and have a bad spring training this year. So it all goes smoothly.
Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm.
Sounds good.
We're good. So I get that. I'm like, oh man. So I'm waiting. I don't know. And I actually looked it up, and there was a trade to be happening for a player name later with either the Dodgers or the Giants. The Dodgers was going to be for Travis d'Arnaud straight up, or now this one was ended up being the Giants, right? And I was Eric Kratz straight up.
Yeah,
I was the player name later there. So that happens, and then I'm like, well, here we go again. Just another guy. I've gotten really good at the handshake introductions into a new clubhouse. Matt Seelinger, nice to meet you. Matt Seelinger, nice to meet you. I always walk in with the wrong colored bags. I go from a black and gold pirate bag to dark blue, light blue with the Rays, to then blue to back to black and orange with the Giants, man.
God.
But no, so that happened. And I'm not going to shy away from it. 2019 was a tough year for me.
Yep.
On field, off field, you're always just like, when you get traded for a second time in 6 months.
Yeah. I was going to say the first time is probably pretty exciting because you're like, wow, like I just got traded. This is cool. This is new. And now you're getting told, hey, I'm getting traded again. And you're just like, dude, I just want a home. I just want a home, man.
that's what it was. And like, that's another thing too, is like, I didn't have, so yeah, I got that, that last 6 weeks, 4 weeks ever with the Rays in Bowling Green. So I got to meet all those guys. Great. But then, then the off season comes and you don't see anybody for the 4 or 5 month off season, really. So I only had the friends that I made in Bowling Green, then spring training, then a month later, then I'm gone. Like with the Pirates, I had all friends from draft class. I just missed your draft class.
Yeah.
But the draft class before you, my draft class, the draft class before me, a couple guys. So I got to know everybody. So like that felt like a home. Then the Rays started to feel like that. Boom.
Moved
then the Giants feel like that now, and then boom, COVID happens. So
Jesus.
So it's been a tough, but regardless. So I was, but you know what? I was pumped to go to the Giants, and I was like, all right, listen, it stinks to, be constantly moving, packing up my truck and driving somewhere. Like, that's the thing that people don't know in minor league baseball is like, that sucks.
Dude, that sucks. That is my biggest issue with just this lifestyle. Like, I love everything about it. I love that I'm down in Florida right now and that I moved again, but like every time I get comfortable, it's just like, all right, well, let's see how long until I have to pack my bags and move again.
Yeah.
Because I know this year, like as of right now, like I'm going to be here for another month. Then we're going to go to spring training, and then I'm going to go to whatever affiliate I'm at. And then it's just, constantly on the road while I'm there. And I'm looking forward to the day in life where I have a home and I don't have to move ever again.
I know. But, but that's the thing that sucks. But I was like, you know what? I tried to, as positive as you can. I'm not going to lie to you. Like,
it's hard.
Like, I was like, yes, like I trade for another big leaguer straight up again. Like, great. So now I could say I've traded for a big leaguer straight up twice. Great. But I was like, damn, like, am I starting over again? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, like, here we go. I got to meet new friends, meet everyone within the organization now, meaning coaches,
all trainers, players, everyone.
And that first week is always so tough. It's like you got to get onto their throwing program, their lifting program, their conditioning, meet the people, find a new house. Like I didn't even have a house to live in. In 2019, I lived in 5 different apartments.
Oh my God.
5 different apartments. So Jesus. It's like, like that's
it's frustrating. Yeah.
So it's like, damn, like what, so it is what it is, though. You know, you kind of just gotta freaking take your hits on your chin and move forward. You know, and that's kind of how I tried doing it. You know, I think I'm actually. You could see, like, numbers don't lie. Like, I didn't have a great year. I mean, I didn't have a terrible year, but I didn't have a great year. I didn't have a great year also based off of my previous years. But, you know what? I was like, now looking back on, like, I'm actually, like, thankful for that happened, because it's kind of like, you know, not that I needed to get kicked down, because it's not like I ever thought of myself like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know what? Like, I kind of got my ass kicked by baseball, and, like, that's never happened to me. Like,
yeah, it's been a generally smooth ride. Yeah,
because I had, you know, besides being, you know, in high school being like not the guy.
Yeah.
Other than that, but from college to, you know, that transition into pro ball and those years with the Pirates to then closing out with the Rays, I was like, damn, like I'm on my way. It just
felt like it was all uphill.
Like
yeah.
I'm like this, and like, you know, here we go. Mm-hmm. And then 2019 happens, and that beats the crap out of me. It does. Yeah. I can't shy away from it. It did. You know, but when, you know, the old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And like, you know, and that's why when I went into spring training in 2020, I was like, this is it. Like, I'm good. I'm good.
There we go. Yeah, you're starting to feel comfortable.
You don't know what rock bottom is until you get to rock bottom. And I was at rock bottom. And, you know, it's like, damn, well, you know what? Things literally cannot go worse. Like, they can't. As long as I have a jersey on my back, things cannot go worse than what they did in 2019. And I think that's the perfect. Screw it. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's the perfect mindset.
COVID happens. COVID happens.
Yeah, they got worse.
You know what, though? It happened to everybody. You know, it is what it is. We're all in the same shitty boat. But it looks like lights at the end of the tunnel. You know, hopefully spring training's coming soon. Mm-hmm. But no, like that was tough. But I will say, though, I mean, everyone with the Giants and with the Rays, I forgot to mention too, when I first got traded to the Rays and then first got traded to the Giants, everyone from coaches, coordinators, players it was so easy to those transitions, because you know what? My journey, not a lot of people have seen. So a lot of people have been interested in it, which helps me fit in with the guys. You know, like when I first got traded to the Rays, a lot of guys have only been in Pro Bowl at that point for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So no one's really seen a trade or anything like that.
Yeah, it's still a relatively new
interested
thing,
into it. And then same thing with the Giants, you know. So listen, I mean, I really, like I said, like I'm not even trying to just say this to blow smoke. Really, the three organizations that I really, you know, I don't know the other 27, but I have been around the block. But I will say, though, these three organizations I've been in have been wonderful and all in their own ways. And it's been great, you know. Like, they're all different, but all great in the same way, you know.
Yeah. Dude, that's fantastic. This has definitely been one of the more unique interviews that I've had on here. And I knew it was going to be this way, you know, with everything from the droppah to you know, 2 trades straight up for big leaguers, and talking about how much of a challenge that can be. Dude. This is awesome. This has been absolutely awesome. I got before I go any further, you have any stories you really want to tell that we haven't touched on?
No, I think I've really told like all the trade stories and all that.
Yeah, dude, you did a great job at, you know, really fleshing out everything. This has been awesome. So the 2 last questions that, you know, I ask everybody that come on. First one is, when are the San Francisco Giants winning the World Series next?
2021.
When is Matt Seelinger as the closer for the Giants? When are they winning the World Series?
2022.
Next year?
Yep.
Next year. I love it, dude. I love it.
Next year. Why not?
Why not, dude? Why not?
Bottom, let's go to the top.
Hell yeah. And then, you know, the last question I'd like to ask everybody that comes on here is, if there's any advice you can give 16-year-old Matt Seelinger, what do you think it would be, you know, to help him going forward through life?
I would say definitely focus on the mental side of sports on that standpoint, because, you know, now that I know what I've gone through, like I just said, in 2019, that definitely, and just kind of just sticking to the process of, that sounds cliche, and I don't mean it in a cliche way. What I mean that is, it's always hard to stick through things, to the right things in the moment. And then when those right decisions, those smart decisions, those true gut feelings end up paying off, is when you're like, wow, like I made the right decision there. Yeah. I did that, whatever. So being a 16-year-old me, I guess, sticking to, not pitching, knowing that not pitching was the correct move for me. Knowing that, I was the guy that, in high school also gave up some things with friends for baseball, but not meaning like playing baseball every weekend like that, meaning like, I wanted to train to get better to go to college, and like, you're always like, damn, I should have hung out with my friends that night or whatever, Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is to stick to my gut feeling of knowing what I was doing at the time was correct and never question it. Obviously tell, everyone if I was 16, do your research before you ever do anything. But, if you think it's the right decision and you're making the right move in your mind and you really believe it, then stick with it. And, the old classic saying is, no program is the right program if you don't follow it correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, so, there's no correct program. Like I could give you the best program to follow from A to Z, but if you're not fully invested into it, you're not wanting to do it, it doesn't mean anything, Mm-hmm. So I guess that would be it, just sticking to it and, trusting yourself and
trust the process.
Yeah, as cliche as that sounds,
Trust the process.
Not to say that, but
Thanks for coming on, Matt.
Jeez. Yeah, thanks for having me. Awesome.
Oh wait, where can everyone find you on social media? What's the plug? All the social medias real quick.
So Instagram is Matt_Selinger, I believe.
Okay.
And then just Twitter is Matt Seelinger. And then TikTok, our gym's been going crazy on TikTok. That's right. We've been going.
Oh, I didn't know you got a TikTok. I got to find that now.
Yeah, it's not my personal TikTok, but it's at Johnny LaRosa at East Coast Strength and Performance. You'll find it, and you'll see. You go on my Instagram, you'll find it, and we put out some good content.
Go follow it, everyone.
We've been training for 20 months, like we said.
Yeah.
So we got to have some fun,
Yeah.
Getting ready, Not
everyone
just being robots.
Go find it.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out another episode of the Minor League Take. I hope you really enjoyed it. Try out the droppah, see if it works. I don't think there's anyone ever going to be able to recreate the pitch with the same nastiness that Matt has. It's a special pitch, and I'm sure when he makes it to the show, it's going to be a big story. MLB Network's going to have him on and talk about it because it's a pretty hilarious pitch to watch get thrown. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Tell me, please, if there's any people you want to have on specifically that you can hear their story. And please, share this to your friends and your family. Get it out to as many people as possible so we can help continue to grow this. We're just a couple weeks away from minor league camp starting up April 1st. I cannot wait. Hopefully, hopefully things are going to go well this year. We'll get off without a hitch and we'll get going and rolling. But once we get once we get around to that time, I'm going to be able to do interviews with all of my teammates in person, so you guys will hear those, and I'm excited to get it going. All right, thank you guys for checking out another episode. See you next week.